Good morning, LinkedIn. This is Let's Build Daily. I'm your host, Chris Carolyn. Super excited to dive into content remix today. Since I somehow spent an hour unboxing Content Hub yesterday and did not make it to Content Remix. So we are definitely going to focus on that today. So I'm going to share my screen here. And so this is where we left off. And I've already shared the team. Part of the reason I didn't get to Content Remix is this trial guide doesn't really touch on it. And I haven't completed all the tasks of checking this out, at least. So maybe I'm not ready to talk to sales yet. And maybe we have another adjustment to make here in that we want to talk to sales about Content Hub Professional, not CMS Hub Professional. But let's not get distracted right off the gate, and let's get into Content Remix. Clicking on the beta over here. And if you checked out the episode last week, Template Tuesday, I went through all the different places in HubSpot where there's templates, and we can already see some here. So welcome to Content Remix, Chris, your go-to platform for optimizing workplace efficiency. Man, if only we could just sell that and people understand what that means. It would be a lot easier to sell HubSpot, let me tell you. Begin by choosing an existing piece of content in your account or create new content with ease. Simply copy and paste your content, then transform it into a variety of engaging content formats. Before I click this button, noticing what else we have here: home, all content, coming soon, saved remixes, saved templates, remix templates, promote content to a wider audience, drive conversations, brainstorming blog post ideas. So again, a lot of stuff you've probably heard about, maybe experience with custom GPTs or just using, Chat GPT and other things like that. And again, from our contextual perspective, since we didn't get to it yesterday, like this is something that we're passionate about. This is on our homepage. This resource efficient content strategy of starting out with longer content and turning it into a bunch of different stuff. This is one place I agree there's low-hanging fruit all over the place in companies that have application notes and even user guides and manuals and, so many things that could be turned into other stuff. Already had a question about, can we do it for presentations? Well, maybe in the future, but I like to think of landing pages and website pages as presentations themselves. And each click can be the next slide. Each scroll can be the next slide. So in that case, the answer is yes, we can do that with pages. So let's click the button, start remixing. Get started by adding content to begin remixing. Click add content. Select from existing content. Content type, blog posts, site pages, landing pages. Listening to a podcast, HubShots yesterday, and I agree that this differentiation, maybe that goes away someday. Website pages and landing pages are very similar in terms of how they're built out in the system. And one of the reasons they're bringing them together into Content Hub instead of having landing pages in Marketing Hub and website pages in CMS Hub. So I'm going to start with a blog post and one that I made yesterday. And let's just say, yeah, we'll boost CX with targeted staff training. We can also select start from new text here. But I'm going to start with this blog post. And so this is a draft. These are not published. So I was allowed to choose a draft, which is awesome. And add content. All right, so it's brought the blog post in. And I'm going to click this plus. So now select up to 4 content types. Social media is locked. Is that because I don't have Marketing Hub Professional? Okay, that makes sense. And I would love to be doing, so I'm definitely doing another unboxing once we get it unlocked for our account. But what can we do? We can create an image. Let's do it. We can create a blog post, already using that. We can create a landing page, an email. And I guess if we're probably selling training, maybe if we're talking about this, let's do an ad. We've already done an audio file when we made the blog post yesterday. But definitely cool to think about website pages and the whole 9 yards here. Let's click next. All right, and this view all content just caught my eye, so I'm trying not to forget about that. So image attributes, style decided by AI. I'm going to keep going with that theme, but again, we've got these different choices to make. Curious if this style decided by AI is referencing the brand tone that we made yesterday, this brand voice stuff. Image dimensions, square, landscape, portrait. This is so much, this is where between, like, depending on who's using this, like the lay user would appreciate square, landscape, portrait. If you're used to knowing dimensions exactly, like you might want to see, 1920 by 1080, 1080 by 1080, and 1080 by 1920 here. But we're just gonna, we'll do portrait. Image quality, HD. I'd be curious. Need some guidance here, probably, on why I would select one or the other. Like, why wouldn't I just always choose HD? Does that mean like I can get a WebP file, like if I choose standard, and I can't get it if I choose HD? Guess it has something to do with file format. Landing page attributes. Template. Only templates that support content scaffolding will be available. What does content scaffolding mean? I'm guessing it's this kind of workflow-ish situation we're gonna create here, but since this is the first time I'm seeing this, I'm not sure what that means. But we have paid consultation, products, pricing. I'm very excited about this list already. Like, man, let's do another example where we just make all these pages. Objective. Yeah, I like paid consultation here. It matches with helping people with training. Add additional information to fine tune your output landing page. We want to help train your staff for modern CX. Our options are, let's say, 1 hour, half day, and 1 day workshops. Sometimes I like to leave it a little messy, especially if I'm just learning how to use the AI tool, just to see what it can parse and what it can't. Using new AI tools, I think, is all about the trial and error process and being effective in that, and then learning very quickly. And let's say the pricing is, say, $4.95. Let's say $9.95 and let's say $24.95 respectively. Let's see what you can do with that. Sure, prospective buyers. Writing style. Be cool if there was like a use brand tone or not here. But I guess if we've done that over here, brand voice, channel settings, whether we apply it to blog or pages, is a setting here. But maybe we can be granular over here as well. Because I'd like to, if I presented with this option here and this exists, I want to make sure I'm using it. So let's say trustworthy, supportive. Include generated images, style decided just to change it up a little bit. We'll choose, let's say, minimalist. Email attributes. I'm just going to copy this in here. And here we have templates, welcome, promotion, newsletter. Man, I was not expecting these templates, but that is very exciting. Again, really no excuses to come in here and just get started if you have access to it. But again, this is a 14-day trial. Audience is also prospective buyers. And again, let's just do some copy and paste here. Avoid some data entry errors that can cause the AI to not do things that we want. Include generated images in the email. I'm not interested this time. Connect an ad account. Okay, I can't do this because I don't have an ad account. Now, what this means is it looks like I'm not going to be able to continue. And this work that I've done here will have to be redone because I cannot complete this fourth thing. So we're just going to redo it real quick. And let me copy this one. obviously pretty frustrating from the user perspective. I understand why it's got to work that way, but some kind of gate to entry before I start doing that, or a way out there to remove that option, since I can't move forward with it, would be nice. All right, and now we'll just add the blog post. And I can probably only create one page at a time. So let's do portrait, HD, paid consultation, paste that in, paste it in down here, and we're pasting it in down here too, since we didn't do that in the first blog post. And then I'll do prospective buyers. All right, and we change this to promotion, prospective buyers, trustworthy, supportive. Not going to do an image in the email. Blog length is long. Include generated image in blog post, and don't have an option to change what kind of image style is here. All right, now I can click generate. All right, well, nice progress bars. So I'm gonna say, I'm guessing the naming should relate to like the reuse of this workflow. So we'll just say blog for now to image, landing page, email, blog. All right. I'm sure you have a much better naming convention. Highly recommend, but that gets the idea. All right. So we've got image, got a landing page. Something went wrong. We've got an email. We've got a blog post. So now, before I get carried away and click on these pluses, we've got some 3 dots where we can regenerate and delete. So while we look at some other stuff, I'm going to try and regenerate over here. See what happens. And while I do that, I'm going to click on this portrait. Okay. I'll take it. Can't spot anything that's super terrifying here. So, all right. Usually like the first bar that I have is, especially when doing stuff in a quick like learning mode fashion, if I'm looking for feedback from others, I'm just making sure that there's nothing misinforming or like, an immediate turnoff. Like where yesterday we caught the elongated head of one of the people. That would be an example. Not seeing that here. One thing to note that is a challenge for every HubSpot portal I've seen is that, especially as we use multimedia, and I come over here, like this definitely requires a renaming situation. So it would be nice if we got to a place where I didn't have to rename it if we know that I could possibly save it in. So maybe there's something I could do over here, like naming the thing, or we could use some other variables, like if we've got attributes to pull from, that would be cool. But yeah, this is where like people almost always, and definitely I have, and I'm guilty of, like just want to fly and start creating pages, and the file manager starts to build and build and build with stuff like this that is not searchable. So you say you're going to come back and rename stuff, or you're going to take it one by one, and neither of those things like ever happen in reality. So figuring out a way to help people with naming conventions, their files, would be helpful. Now, what's interesting is prior to this trial, like when I first started this account, it did not have direct access to files. And I think that is a planned thing that makes sense for me on free accounts, because file hosting gets expensive. So I think I get it because I'm in this trial. But enough commentary. Let's look at the landing page. Customer experience training elevates your customer experience, transform your team's capabilities. Right. Unlock the potential of your team, book your consultation, our training programs, 1 hour power session, priced at $4.95, half day, priced at $9.95, full day. Learn what our clients have to say. Like, I don't know. I guess this is maybe a good placeholder, but it's, where else could it be pulling this information? So I don't know if this could be real, but it's a great way to show you a framework. Let's save and edit an app and see what happens. All right, so a new tab opens up, and wow, gives me the image, a place to add a meetings link, which I don't have any set up in this portal, but it's like book your meeting, give them a chance to book right then. Our training programs. So I wonder if this is just a section. I was going to check to see if it was using a specific module. Yeah, service card, right? So we have content there. So I guess I was looking for something like a pricing card instead of a service card. But honestly, that's been like way too nitpicky. This is amazing. Let's get that straight first. That where I started for this to come in. And this is just best practice. Like, even if it's just placeholder, it's better than lorem ipsum, in my opinion. Just remember to edit it and check it out. Wow. So many thoughts, but I want to get through the rest of these things. I'll leave this page open. And then what's really cool is this ability to copy to clipboard. I know that will be valuable. And we can double check and generate again. Come on. This is too good. Let's just say at a list price of $450 a month. Insane value. Insane. There's definitely nothing like this. I have yet to see anything like this available. Transform your customer experience. This is our email with our training workshops. Elevate your customer experience. Discover how strategic task training, learn more customized training solutions, workshops, see the impact. Contact us today. Maybe a CTA placeholder here would be cool, but otherwise, I mean, that's why we just save and edit an app. I did not see this part coming, like the save and edit an app. Like, Come on. Like, this is just so good. I mean, how much easier can they make it for you? And the cost. Like, and here's the thing, like, there are people that are spending time on these activities, and there's a concern that, like, the replacement is going to happen of the people if you don't transition to understanding how AI can support your role, and you think you can hang on to your manual repetitive tasks, you will not be able to. People are going to keep innovating, and the key is switching from the person that creates to the person that creates with the help of AI, right? That doesn't mean AI is doing it for you. It's not creating with AI. It is creating with the support of AI, and you're being there. Like, if you get really good at prompting and editing and like confirming, that's where there's a ton of job availability there, and that's going to, keep showing up. So this is just so powerful. And we could just, let's say, and then we could do it all over again. Like, wow. Uh, didn't get to share the social media posts, but you can imagine. I mean, these are the things that everybody understands. If you want to be active in all these different channels and, you know, keep everything consistent, be top of mind. It's a very hard thing to do, but a tool like this makes it much more accessible to so many companies. In a thread earlier today, it's like being able to do stuff like this or not being able to do it. This is digital transformation, right? Being where the customer is in all these conversations requires digital transformation mindset, requires a system that supports that. And this is a tool that is now available to you and this is why I love HubSpot and the customer platform HubSpot concept. The choice is now, do you want to do it or not? Because it's not, can you do it? Tools like this make it possible, right? If you just decide to do it. And I'll get off my soapbox for a second and check out this all content or view all content button. Current content. So starting content, okay. So without having to, so this was the starting piece, right? And we come back here and wow. So instead of clicking into each one, we can just come over here and run through it. So maybe I do that next time. I probably do that next time. And then we look at deleted content. So maybe if I does that mean if I, let's say change the style. I don't want to include that. Let's say generate again. Is that where the deleted content shows up? We'll see. I'll see when it's done. But I mean, and we're just, this is obviously just scratching the surface. As I've only one level down and there's more pluses to hit, there's more stuff to make. We view all content. I'm curious. So let's just save it. And I think workflow is saved automatically whenever changes are made. Okay, so we open saved remixes. Brings me back over there. Maybe I wasn't ready to do that, but it's also not seeing, didn't catch my rename, which was such a beautiful naming convention too. And we've got the starting content is here and deleted content. Okay, so I'm curious what this represents. I have to imagine it is the previous version of things that were chosen to regenerate. Or no, actually it's just if I delete, this. Yeah, that would make more sense. So let's just refresh there. And I don't see it. But I would imagine there's some chance to retrieve. There's some option to retrieve that here. But let's go back to the dashboard, save remixes here. And we've got this home base. Got save remixes down here. Just kind of clicking in, seeing if sometimes it takes a minute for stuff to register. And then we've got use these templates. So expand your content footprint. Let's use this template. Woo! There you go. Man, we are living in the future, folks. I'll go ahead and edit there at time, but content remix, y'all, it's here. And every marketer I've ever met in my life should care very deeply about this and look to use it as quickly as possible. And I can't wait to see others in action with it. So with that, very obviously, content remix is here. Find your opportunities to use it and let's grow. Have a good one, everybody.